you have the double pick. Spawn team might just pick something like Disruptor with the Naga Siren. I wouldn't be too surprised. Actually, wait, Lilgun has to pick first. Sorry about that. I saw the arrows wrong. So Disruptor's been one of those heroes, but this is also a great hero against the classic duo lanes. Utilizing attack speed slow against the weakness of the hero. Okay, they go for the Disruptor anyway. All right, so I wasn't completely wrong with this one.
That's a vision-based hero that also deals well with the Brood. If you get the Thunder Strike on the Brood, you can very easily kill the hero. Right now, you would only need damage, but maybe the Marcy in itself would allow you to do that. On the other hand, Lilgun, they went for the Crystal Maiden Tusk. Doesn't matter where the Tusk goes. CM and, I mean, in terms of lanes, once the laning phase is done, Tusk and the Crystal Maiden will always want to play together. And ideally, if the Brood is being ganked, you want to be somewhere in the vicinity. Because these three heroes, they just run down everyone. Everyone just dies when they're running forward. Not so good when you're running away from the enemies, though.
So what do we pair this up with? If we've got Disruptor going with the Naga, we go Marcy and... What do we want to pair this Marcy with? We can still leave everything open because they decide to go for the Puck first at a... Wow.
That's a really good Pudge pick. That's a really good Pudge pick. It lanes well with the CM. These heroes don't do damage to the Pudge. Once you get the Flesh Heap off, you do not care about the Marcy slowing down your attack speed. If I was Spawn, I'd be very much afraid right now. You don't have the last pick, so it's not like you're gonna be countering anyone. You don't have this heavy physical damage dealers. I mean, for me, this is already a big outdraft in favor of Lilgun.
Yep, one of the best Brood Mothers in the game, and then we also have the Pudge to follow it up. Yeah, this is a very scary draft. Already looking at just those two. And how much CM also utilizes the Pudge?
Only 10 seconds.
Tusk going very nicely together with the Brood Mother. Scary offlane like duos. How do you fight against the CM Pudge though with Marcy? What's your go-to hero for a pause 3 here that will somewhat maybe even slow down the Pudge a little bit, have a bit of threat in the lane? Maybe they can farm the Crystal Maiden with.
Mars comes to mind. Just go with the basics. It isn't banned, is it? It isn't.
Yeah,
I think
it's up to Lilgun.
That's probably a good one because you want to start off the fight by killing someone if you're Spawn, and you cannot allow yourself to start running away from the opponents because you'll be caught. So Mars to me seems like a decent one.
Well, they left it open. Decided to ban the Legion Commander. Probably also not to break the Empower. Already seen one good LC today. CM is a prime target to just quickly get rid of. And the dual lockdown on the Brood Mother. So there's a lot of things that they're kind of scared of in this hero. Mars has a lot of similarities too with lockdown and damage potential. Is there anything else?
Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking about the jump-in heroes. This is what I want to see from Spawn. Maybe a Centaur?
I'm thinking Centaur too. I'm kind of falling back to the best offlaners to the mediocre ones. Doesn't look like there's any great offlane hero to go with. Like the Mars, yeah, like the Mars is good. Like that's probably the best that they could go for. What about Necrophos?
You die to the CM Pudge. You just die. There's nothing for you there.
Damage is definitely very heavy that you do take, but it would be a Pudge counter with the Scythe.
It would.
They have a lot of burst damage they could use. With the Puck, Necro... I don't think you have frontline presence if you go with Necro Puck.
Yeah, too slow. The Necro is too slow, cannot move around the map. Plus, you don't have any initiation on the side of Spawn.
Yeah.
A Puck, Blink...
Bristleback?
Dire team are now picking. Pugna.
Well, Puckna doesn't provide frontline presence either, really, but... at least they can utilize it a little bit. Straight up Lion. No fear. Screw your nether wards. Alright.
Yeah. I am inclined to say that this is going to be a Lilgun game. Lilgun have everything they need. plus there with their comfort heroes, unless they don't pull any shenanigans like last time, trying to just completely dismantle their opponents and then being baited into really bad points of fight. I just don't see them. Oh, actually, it's an off lane Tusk, it's a safe lane Brood, and a mid lane Pudge. I would have ideally wanted to say it differently, but I think the idea is you want the Pudge as strong as possible, so that he can go for the Naga Siren.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about the Tusk Lion lane. I like it, but not against the Naga Siren in particular. This Disruptor, though, on the other hand, is gonna have to be careful.
Can you be too careful though? Where do you draw the line of being careful?
If you show yourself, you die. So you just stand somewhere behind the Naga, you spam out your first spell,
Yeah.
and you try to push out the lane to get the line to prevent you from pulling, and then you allow Naga to be in a 1v1 versus the Tusk. I think that's
So you play with high caution.
yeah, very high caution.
See if Lilgun can tie up the series with this draft. Spawn team already taking the first game. Very important point grab for them. A 2-0 would be massive for Spawn team, and that would definitely be a statement in itself. How ready they are coming into this tournament. But everything is still open and up for grabs as we head over to the actual game. Hopefully all of you people watching today have had a lot of fun. We have had a lot of fun, especially towards this series as Spawn played out a very nice comeback game number 1. I would believe the second game is a bit more straightforward, but you can never know.
Yeah, I also thought in the last one Lilgun were gonna win, and they should have. They were even crushing it more than I thought they would with the next assassin. But yeah, you can always get ahead of yourself, especially at the start of the tournament that has such a long group phase. So you know, mistakes like that are okay to make, especially if you're trying to see the limits of your lineup and try to get better. So I don't think that was that big of a problem for them, but they're probably gonna give it their all in this game number 2,
Yep.
just to make sure that it's safe and it goes their way.
Well, we're gonna have a bit of a pause. Set ourselves ready for what is to come. In terms of lanes, are we gonna see a 2-1 victory for either side? Are we gonna see any possible ties in any lane?
Wait, so 4-3, is he gonna be laning the mid lane?
He could do a lane swap here. I mean, you could still put Pudge safe lane, but they are considering their options here. Looking
Yeah,
at Pudge's
2-1 in
build,
favor.
he's got armor packed up, so... Well, Spawn is also kind of considering should they swap.
I'd say 2-1 in favor of Lilgun. They win the mid, they win the safe lane, and they probably lose their off lane with the Tusk versus the Naga Siren. The only way that lane goes for you is if you kill the Disruptor over and over again, and it kind of comes down to how well Travis will position himself.
Let's see how these lanes finally get decided. Looks like Womi and Dalal are going to head towards the top lane. As kind of expected. Crystal Maiden taking a couple early hits here. We've got Pota 2 coming in as well with the orb. Maybe if he gets in front, you get a couple body blocks or at least a couple right clicks in. They're going to turn their attention towards the Pudge though, and Pug also has to get back to that mid lane.
Pudge is dead.
You think? Oh, he is. He is. Womi's going to grab this one, and Pota might miss his block in the mid lane. 4-2-3 has his creeps under his own tower. But Womi to bring up the first blood. Brings up Spawn on board first.
That's a big one. This actually allows you to do really well in this. Oh no, Pagna gets caught.
Does get hit by one tower hit, but Ace looks to die first. Dalol is going to be there. Womi helps him out with another right click. That's already 2 kills for this top lane, off lane duo for Spawn. That was a
And
good
both of
hook,
it
but
into the
doesn't
Pugna.
save him.
Both of it into the Pugna. Plus, you know, hooking the fastest hero in the game It's not gonna give you too much fruit, it seems like. If it was 2 or 3 tower hits, it would have been great, but still, CM only having the Crystal Nova, it's really not that big of an issue for the Pugna himself.
They will continue the pressure as well. Ikigai misses the hook from close range. If that did connect, that would have been a dead Dalol, but instead, empty-handed. We'll get back to that top lane in just a second, as we'll take a quick glimpse at the mid lane. Pota 2 still scored a couple last hits, despite having to wait under the Broodmother's tower. He is doing a good job of poking, making sure that this Broodmother takes as much damage as possible, and forced to level up the Insatiable Hunger as well. Kind of would be expected as well in a 1v1, that you want to keep that sustain up.
Yeah, mid lane you always go that way. Ace is dead on top again.
It's like a bit of a waste if you go for something else. Womi getting chased by Ikigai. Ikigai slowly dropping here as this rot keeps on running. But, oh, gets the snipe. There goes the streak. Recovery
yep, that's
kill.
A big one. That's a really big one. Dalol, you could see that he was dodging the hook constantly, and Womi, he just thought with the boots and him being such a fast hero that there was no way he was gonna get hit. So confidence getting the better of him this time around.
At least Womi is there to bring up some extra regen for his buddy. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, we haven't actually even had the time to look at this because most of the action is happening in top. But already Naga with 10 CS, 11. Keeping up the pace with this Tusk.
He's always ready for a
All the classic build-ups coming here. Nothing special. It looks like it is in order. I like this Lion pick against the Naga because you can just clear out these illusions with 2 of your spells already. It can be very handy, though you would love to use your Hex on an actual hero instead of an illusion.
I mean, it's good to stop some kind of split pushes, and of course, you know, Lion is such a great pick against the Puck, against the Pugna. Anything that that Spawn has is kind of vulnerable to the high lockdown of the land because everyone is so squishy.
Yeah. Pudge basically with that one hook kill, he got himself a spree and caught up in CS to Womi. So it does feel like some of the advantage was given away. Now they're turning their attention towards the lull. Hook will connect. He does get tossed away. But then again, the chase, it doesn't end. He gets the jump back in, and he'll get the kill first. Womi, Nether Blast available in 1 second. Can't dodge this one.
He wants more.
Can't
He's
get
not
Ace
done.
here. 2 more right clicks, but runs out of mana. Does have some mangoes, but he's too far away. And that frostbite damage isn't even enough to bump any of those raindrop charges.
Yeah, it's 100 damage per second, but it's in small instances, so it's not really ever gonna pop it.
Pota 2. Getting assistance from Dalol, but the Broodmother seems to be winning this brawl, and now Kishka also shows up into the mid lane. Gives an extra tango for the Broodmother to use. Back to the top lane where Womi, at least he's got the mobility on his side, so he can keep dancing around. He's still got the frostbite into hooks, so if Ace gets a good connection where there's no creeps in between, might just get hooked straight under the tower. Guy happy to actually pull his entire wave under the tower, but look at 11. Down a very low HP, Kishka has to intervene.
11 actually doing okay in terms of CS, but Jacroix is doing amazingly well. They didn't get on top of the Disruptor. They only did so once, not having the tag team. They weren't able to get the kill, and that allows the Naga Siren to pretty much have a perfect lane. Laning phase-wise, Spawn should be very happy with how it ended, especially with the top lane.
And top lane battle, it never ends. Ace will get blown up by Womi. Womi about to fall. Ikigai with a hook, and he's got to get the connection, and that's a dead Pugna. Another flesh heap snack scored by Ikigai. And the lull can only poke.
And he should have lived through that with the Pugna.
Bottom. 5 second for another stun from Kishka. Disruptor gets away. Does he have glimpse? He does, but he's gonna get caught by the stun fairy fire just in time, but it's gonna be enough. One more right click from Kiska. Tries to juke him around. Gets the heal out of him, the tango, and he lives. And into the arms of Jakroy 11 will snipe him down, but Naga will return, and both cores will get a kill each. And Dalal getting killed at the top lane. Ikigai surviving as Pogna has to turn his attention with a Nether Blast onto the Crystal Maiden instead. So that will be 2 heroes down. Lilgun to score the majority of them.
How about I do this? Does it help?
The top lane, first few levels should have been okay for Lilgun, but they lost so much. And with the lead that Spawn got, they shouldn't have been losing heroes. But then, a couple of hooks actually changed things quite a lot. So now I think we're in a position that should have been expected from the start.
Yeah. Womi's so slowed up, but the punch is going to be in trouble. Instead, gets blown up as the lull comes to the rescue, and the sidekick, they get enough lifesteal to survive through. And that is also a life drain now picked up for the Pugna, and 6 kills on Womi.
Dire's top tower is
This
being
tower is also going to be a goner.
This situation on the top lane changes things a lot. The only problem I still see for Spawn is how do you deal with the Brood. I'm not sure what they're gonna be doing about the 4-2-3 in the mid lane. The only thing you can do is get the Disruptor there from a good angle so that he doesn't die to the Spiderlings, and have the Pugna somewhere in the vicinity to do the damage. But it's not gonna be easy to do for sure. For both of those heroes, dying to the Brood is quite easy.
Off we go again. Ace is going to get tossed around. Womi with a life drain. Gets the kill. The lull. Gonna have to give his life away for another flesh heap snack, but the punch might actually get a kill for himself. Getting the overpower. That will be enough Dismember to kill. And a double. This top lane situation is back and forth the whole time. But one thing is for certain, this Pudge will infinitely scale with that flesh heap.
He's looking really good there. You could see the second that the Pudge used the hook, immediately they go for the CM because they know there's nothing to cancel the life drain. The Frostbite doesn't do that. But during that fight, the Marcy dies, the Pudge gets the level 6 and then the level 7 as well, eating the Pug.
Puck. Oh, Puck. The Spiderlings, too much to deal with. The Hex kills off the Puck. Easy one for 4-2-3. He's already finished off that mid tower. 8 minutes in. Big shifts and big swaps. I mean, I guess it was inevitable that this Puck is going to get killed at some point, but it is actually the Lion Hex that ends up being the downfall of him.
Yeah, Travens would like to get those wards down, but he can never get away from the Brood. He just can't get into that territory.
There's no song available right now. The Naga, and there's a lot of Spiderlings coming in, but the Riptide is causing some issues as there's a big fight in top as Ace and Dalul both getting traded off. And that is 7 flesh heap stacks for Pudge. And we're 9 minutes into the game. So every time this seems like a 1-1 trade, Pudge gets the better of it. If he's the one to live.
Pudge can kind of get a tattoo on himself being Marcy. Like wherever he puts it, there's a part of Marcy there as well, because you're just gonna be getting those flash heaps over and over again. She died 4 times. Actually, Pugna died 3 times as well, so Womi is not out of the question as well in terms of giving those flash heaps.
Womi, at least he's still second in net worth at 4,500. You would have thought that this tower would have fallen by now, but it's still up. Meanwhile, 423 has already taken 2 towers down. He just finished off the bottom tier 1 as well. They're starting to slowly shrink the map. As you can see from his micro movements as well. Moving and spreading around the spiders. A lot of vision.
Now look at Jakroy and the items he wants to go for. He's like, Yasha just for some farm, and then I have to fight. I have to fight with my team, and he wants the science. But on the other hand, you look at 4-2-3, and you understand he's not going to allow any of the heroes of Spawn to do anything. None of them are building items to help with the Orchid.
Actually, this situation does diffuse itself with the sentry ward. Kiska was ready to jump in from the trees to land that Hex into stun. Bottom lane, though, 11 might be a bit too far. There's a glimpse, but he's only level 1, so he doesn't have the range for it. That will pass by 4-2-3. Smoked up And a bunch of spiders. There's some webs arriving. And he is going straight for the nether ward. Get rid of that one. Unable the fight to happen. Ace is going to go down. Womi will buy some time with a Decrepify. Dodges the hook from Ikigai. And Talul got no mana. He needs a little bit more time to get his spells off cooldown. 3 seconds for another jump. And Pudge surrounded. Cornered. Courier also sniped. And Talul close to grabbing Kishka. Nice moves around the trees. A sentry for extra vision, but they will still run into him. Seeds of Serenity ain't gonna save you from all that burst damage. Spawn with a couple kills.
The thing looked perfect for Lilgun the second that the Lion survived barely on like 20 HP. But yeah, there's this one hero, Marcy, that is completely fair.
Can they get Jacroy? Is this too optimistic? It might be worth it. 30 HP. Oh, Ace. He needs this. He needs this. But the healing battery. Okay, 4 tier 3. This should definitely be a closer as he arrives to the occasion. There's a lot of heroes to deal with, though. Ace survives for as long as possible. The spiderlings are getting cleared out. They found the Broodmother in the tree line as well. And another life drain. Forces the spider on the move. Now jumping around on the cliff. The lull. No mana. And here comes Boda for the kill. One more hit. One more hit. One more hit. No. Not gonna happen.
I thought, Panda, that you were a Broodmother lover. Were you just cheering for the Brood to die?
Broodmother lover.
Yeah.
I'll just say I'm a Broodmother enjoyer. But that was a pretty insane escape.
That reminded me of a song from Lonely Island there, but okay.
Okay.
Radiant's top
I don't think that's very stream friendly, right?
Yeah.
I thought as much. But 15 to 10, 25 kills in 12 minutes. What's our Pudge's situation looking like? He's still at the 7 flesh heaps. He picked up under 9 minutes. And 1 more piece towards his Aghanims. Very good progress.
Yeah, Lilgun, they just want to fight constantly. With the CM, you don't want to be passive. You want to be on the aggressive at all times. And with them completely controlling the bottom part of the map and the top tier 1 still being alive, that is why this gold lead is continuing to ramp up despite them not having the lead in terms of kills.
They're gonna get information about the puck in the bottom lane. So 11 might just hide in the tree line unless he's forced to act. At least go straight for the creep wave. Maybe plays a bit of a bait as well, but he's coming from a direction where Puck probably knows there's somebody else in here as well. Smokes have ran its course. Ace and Kishka. Are they waiting for Boda? Did they see him? No, they didn't. And he gets the stun out. He's got the Hex as well with the snowball. And that's a dead Puck. For a moment, when Kishka was moving around here, it looked like Puck might have seen him, but apparently he didn't.
Yep, he didn't get a glimpse of him, and it cost him his life in the end. The Brood does have an Orchid, so anyone who moves towards the bottom part of the map alone is just dead. Maybe, just maybe, the Naga Siren can live because of the high armor, but anyone else just immediately dies. So Spawn, right now, it's good for them that they overtook the top part of the map at least, because they need somewhere to play.
That's what they want to do. Looks like they're diving top as well, trying to get Ikigai's attention on this Pudge. Will be a free nether ward for them to grab at least, and just 100 gold short. He's gonna finish off his Aghanims right now, and Spawn are smoking up.
Really good move. Really good move. They forced out the TPs on the top lane, and now they're getting towards the mid lane. They can wait for anyone on the transition. Even the Brood can die inside of the Static Storm.
That's probably their goal. They would like to catch a lone straggler. Let's see what Brood does. Brood heads over to the triangle, and here they are. Here they're waiting for somebody to spring the trap. Nobody's falling for it, though. Looks like 4-2-3 is taking a bit of a wraparound with their own smoke, and Kishka's going to be there. The Lol and Travens, they get popped, but they've targeted themselves on Poda, but Poda has a Yules, so that Orchid has been countered. And there goes your spiders.
You need to bail from this part of the map if you spawn right now, because you can see how the Lilgun heroes are converging there. Okay, Travis
everyone is on their way. So yeah, Disruptor And a courier. Kishka will take that.
From Radiant's army dies, and
We'll
a
take
piece
everything
of
you
evil
own, Travens.
darkness is lifted from the world.
Yeah, poor Puck had to go for a Yules. His damage output is non-existent in this game. So Spawn, they can't really kill heroes that easily. Unless it's a long drawn-out fight where the Pugna is dealing the damage. Their heroes just don't do enough.
See what they can, see if they can establish now. Ace. Looks like they're right on top of this Pugna. Pugna feels like I'm going to get a free kill right here. He will get it. Dalal's going to be there, but he's going to be surprised by the Orchid and Ikigai to walk in. Will grab himself. He will not get himself. He will get himself a flesh heap. Such a long delay on that one. Kill happened ages ago, but it didn't update instantly. So I thought that he didn't get it, that he was too far away, but silly me.
You think it's easy moving corpses and implementing them into your own body?
Of course. Not that I know anything about that. That's a dead disruptor. Painful death. Painful slow death.
Man, that feels so bad. If you're a disruptor in this game, you actually don't know what to do, who to play with, who to go for. You're constantly on the defensive. Your glimpses aren't gonna be that useful. It's just impossible to make anything happen. The best you can do is like be a meat shield so that you can see where the enemies are coming from, so that your teammates do have the time to go for something else. But the thing is, Lilgun, they're hitting their timings right now with the Yags on the Pudge, so it's gonna be much easier for them to just continue applying the pressure and increasing their lead.
Yep. And what I really like is this Marcy's build up to a straight up BKB. It's like, this is the only item that I need this game to help my team and help myself. This will purge off most of the stuff, most of the magical damage that I receive, and enables me to dish out damage as a support. So that's one of the fun parts about Marcy, is how easily this hero's build up goes.
They walked into Roche under vision. This can work out really badly for them if they stay here.
Important that Spawn does answer this appropriately. Chikroy on the side. You have seen him. Song comes out. They're running away from it. It's a good reset. Glimpse comes out though. 11's gonna get caught. Roshan, not sure if he landed the Bastard or not, but Tusk is still gonna get killed off. See him ulti. Beard up for Ravage on the back line. And we'll get a lot of stuns out, and Lilgun evaporated. It starts off of 1 kill, leads into 4, and 4-2-3. You might think you're safe keeping away, but you have just given us the Roshan.
Okay, Womi wins the fight with the Lotus Orb. That's just it. Actually, Lilgun, it looked like they were in a great position.
Yeah. One simple spell rebound. Decides the whole fight.
Also very weird. Tusk needed to not get caught by that static storm. 11.
Get here. So he took the DD rune, tried to kill off the Marcy. Marcy will finally get killed off by the Frostbite. Now Naga Siren with no song, no Manta, takes some Orchid damage at the end of it. Will live. Kishka still playing aggressive here. Pudge was also looking for a hook, but no. None to be found. Forced away out of this one. Spawn with a 2k net worth lead after that Roche fight.
Kishka bought a shard over the Blink Dagger in this game just to deal with the illusions. This is a bit of a problem for Spawn. It's looking well for them. They're slowing down Lilgun, but how are you gonna have a win condition in this game when your Naga isn't gonna have any of the illusions? You're gonna be needing to find this line first every single time, and Kishka's positioning has been pretty much on point in this game.
Has been throughout the series. Like,
yeah, true.
He's been playing a very good series in as a whole. It's very fun to watch how he plays. How he positions, when does he time his movements, how does he utilize the vision that they have. And not really putting himself in danger, which looks like, what is he doing? Or like, oh, he's already there at the right time, or he knows where to go. It's like, it's really fun to watch his movements on the map.
Yeah, Kishka was always good, but I'm not sure he was this good. So I'm hoping he's gonna have a very successful DPC season, because this is looking pretty solid from him. Just needs to get rid of some of his ideas. I'm just gonna be completely destroying my opponents, destroy them up until minute 30, and then allow your cores to do their thing, just supporting them from the back. That's pretty much what was needed in the previous game for them to have a clean game in the victory.
Middle tower is being attacked.
Be a mid tower to fall and spawn as they take it. Instant smoke towards top, and I believe Lilgun, they're aware of this movement, so they're either prepared to fight or to try and dodge this. Kishka is positioning himself to be the one to catch it first. Spiders to provide vision, but they're still on their way. 4-2-3. They see him, they know where he is, and that's a surprise attack, but the Static Storm misses and they don't see him anymore, but now they finally get the catch on him. He's going the other way around and he's gonna get sucked away by Womi. So painful death.
One big thing also, Womi is going for an Axe. Removing the spell damage from the Pudge is actually going to be a really big deal. If you remember the TI finals, when the Tidehunter had when he had a Mage Slayer, just making the Pudge and the Lesh completely useless. When they run in, they don't do damage. Pugna kind of does the similar thing to one hero with the Aghanim Scepter. So you just drain away the Pudge's ability to do damage, and suddenly these Naga illusions, if the Lion is dead, they're surviving through everything.
That's actually true. Like I really like that idea, considering how heavy Pudge's damage output is, and it's not just on one target. It's full-on AoE damage. So if you're able to get that off, reduce his damage output, allows you to sustain the fights much more longer. I really like that idea.
It's cool. It's definitely cool. Also, it does give you more burst damage, to be honest. When you pop the Decrepify and start life draining, you also gain magic damage yourself, so people are going to be dying faster.
Yeah, you get stronger as well. Enjoy putting even more misery on your opponents. Nice jump from Delul. He finds Kishka. Kishka does get the Hex out on time first, though. Lotus Orb just in case. Now Pudge is making his way forward. You thought you're safe with your Decrepify. No, sir, says Kishka. Finger into that. We'll trade off 11 in the bottom lane. That is 1 minute left on the Aegis.
I haven't felt 11's impact in this game. Obviously, in the lane, he couldn't do much, but he wasn't even threatening the Disruptor's life. And overall, it seems like he doesn't feel too comfortable playing this hero. There were a couple of times where he could have used the spells a little bit better just to survive, mainly that Roche fight. He could have blinked in before he got glimpsed back, used the snowball, and bought himself a few seconds, but he didn't do it. And every single time, he's just pushing out the bottom lane, and from time to time, they do find him and kill him.
Lilgun trying to set their own trap in the mid lane. They want Poda. They want anyone they can grab. Here's the puck, and here's the instant blink. But that Hex does not last for very long.
It was on the creep.
It was on the creep, yeah, I thought as well. Like that should definitely have been a bit longer.
Like, why didn't the Hex work long enough? Either way, Aegis does expire, they go immediately for a smoke. But the positioning of spawn is really good to wait for this one.
Yep, the positioning is going to be on point, but they will get the catch on the Pugna first, and he's already down a half and blown up before he gets anything out. Static Storm, though, on a very good position, but they're not taking a lot of damage. Pudge is fighting for his life, but he's going to fall first, and Spawn, they outlift the damage output, at least for what they wanted to, but 4-2-3 is still another issue, forcing them to go away, so that is going to be a 2-for-3 trade, and Spawn will have to back away. They are on the retreat. Pudge did a lot of damage there, but even despite him dying, there's still a full HP Brute that they have to worry about next.
Yep. The thing is, Pudge's damage is sometimes just ridiculous. You forget how much it can do. Spawn made the slight mistake of their Pugna not being on the high ground there, and with the ward there, Lilgun did manage to get the jump. Still, not the worst thing in the world for Spawn, because their Naga Siren is getting stronger and stronger. The heart is there now, and he will be upgrading the Bloodthorn fairly soon. So that means that this Pudge's damage output will be mitigated even further. So Pugna Axe once it comes out, and then the Mage Slayer as well. The Pudge just isn't gonna be that big of a problem as the game continues.
Yeah, and also when you look at the Bloodthorn coming off the Naga Siren, not only does it reduce the damage output of the Pudge, but it also increases the magic resistance of the Naga Siren on top of it. So at that with the Pugna, and Naga doesn't really have any issues in this game against any hero, to be honest.
The only thing I'm afraid of for the Naga is where does her damage come from. If the land kills your illusions, really, it's gonna be almost impossible for you to do much. But I think that's where the puck comes in. His goal this game isn't to do damage on the puck; it's to find the backline and disrupt them for the Naga to be able to do that.
Yeah. I guess we're living at that phase of the game in Dota. If you have all your resistances connecting at the same time, it's just down to who has the longest nerves. How long can the fight possibly take? So everyone's kind of used to all the mitigation that is being applied. And just position accordingly and play around with the spells that you have. So one moment you might get a good burst in, the next time probably not going to happen. Bloody Wraith Pacts and everything. Not in this particular game, at least, but
we talked
you get
about
you get the gist.
Everyone gets the idea when you say bloody Wraith Pact, I think. We're talking a lot about the item timings of spawn, but the big item timing that can change the flow of the game is the Pudge BKB. That is something that you're always going to have to look out for, and I talked about the Tusk not really having a lot of impact in this game. Now he has a Deso, so there is like a handful of heroes that you can actually just one-shot. Even the Pugna is gonna be afraid quite a lot, even with the 17
as
armor.
well. They're gonna be walking into Ace. Ace has found the enemy, and they've also found where is Lilgun. There's a glimpse coming out. Will be throwing the Crystal Maiden in peril. They've got Boda in the air at the same time. They've got Marcy in the back line, gonna get dismembered. Womie with the healing battery. Ace is gonna go down. 11's gonna be falling as well. Spawn looking to win this fight. They're going straight under the tower with the song, and all they need to do is get everything on the Pudge. Pudge blinks away and won't be caught at all. Really bother getting silenced in the tree line. Dalol with another poke, but Kishka, he's a bit too far away to get those hexes and stuns out, but they're rooted. They're all getting caught. That is the Aghanims on the Broodmother. There were 3 heroes snared inside one singular spot. Kishka slowing them down, and Dalol diving in for another fight. Pudge needs to live, but the Pudge won't survive for long enough, and Kishka finds himself all by himself, surrounded by enemies. And despite if they do go into the route, it does nothing to stop them from running them over. Spawn winning another fight.
The fight of vision there. First it was Spawn coming in with a smoke. They find a nice opening there on the CM and on the Tusk. Tusk again not having much impact on in the fight. But then they got a couple of those kills. They continued chasing. Once the CM bought back, they started retreating, and there is this nice ward that the CM left just before she died that allowed the Pudge to go for that hook. But the thing is, right after Spawn got away from that ward, Lilgun went a little bit too deep. It was over. The fight was over. The Naga Siren turns around, Bloodthorn onto the Pudge, and he gets absolutely annihilated. And plus, you get the Roach right now, so Spawn, they should be very happy with the developments in the game currently.
Very happy indeed. Basically, just continues to grow and grow. Naga now at 20,000 net worth. He's got almost 400 last hits at 28 minutes, 6 kills, and by far the biggest farmed hero on the server. Namely, that net worth lead is the Naga's difference to the next core. And wants to build a Scotty as well, so they really just want to sustain and stretch fights. More HP, the more time we have. And it also wears down the Pudge.
Everyone is gonna know that you... Oh, Kishka? Okay, it'll be fine. That you were casting some CSGO tournaments lately because you're saying server instead of map. It's
I mean, I wasn't casting, but I get the point. Yeah, we were doing a nice little local finish LAN of 200k yesterday. It was fun. Very fun experience.
Nice flex, nice flex. The Ags on
it was our first event in over 3 years, so gotta be happy.
The Axe on the Brood is ready as well. The Spinner Snare is one of the more annoying things to play against, especially in terms of vision and Lilgun understanding where Spawn are. So Spawn, they don't want to deal with that too much, so they just walk into the enemy space.
It's a good timer to do so. They're so far ahead.
He split the illusions, so Lion can't kill all of them.
There you go. On the sideline, Disruptor already taken down to 400. Not enough with the instant burst, and Ace is already down. Maybe they can look for more Kishka, slowing them down with a Mana Burn. Mana Drain even. Jikroy. He's got a Brood, he's got a Lion. All that he wants in one spot. Lion blinks away, Pudge charges in. He's got the Rot on BKB still available. Lotus Orb bouncing back the stuns. Pudge finally able to initiate and now takes down the Marcy. And that will take long as they finish him off and they will take down the Aegis. That's round number 1. Time for another boxing round. Ding, ding, ding. And there's the hook. It goes straight onto Jikroy. Pull him under the tier 4 towers. Naga in a bit of trouble, but not too much. Can he still get out of here? Ikigai on top of him. Mirror image to dodge the snowball stun. And no ensnare available anymore. TP home. Not going to happen. Down to 4, 2, 3, and 11 with the Walrus Punch will make sure there's no escape today. Into the root. They've got the puck inside it. They've got Pugna inside as well. Into the sun from the snowball. And that will be another kill. And Womi to finish off the team wipe. Lilgun ain't out yet.
They win that one quite convincingly. That's only with the buyback on the Tusk, and finally we're gonna be seeing some impact coming out from the Tusk as well. Pudge holding on to the BKB for a very long time. I got scared there for a second. Ikigai was just gonna get bursted through the Bloodthorn, but he kept his distance away. He understands that Rod has such a huge AoE, so he's keeping himself away from the Naga Siren. He doesn't want to get in her face. He wants to be a couple of steps behind her and just continue burning her down with the Rod. So beautifully positioned by Ikigai. Just the right time to use the BKB there, and that's pretty much why they won that fight. Plus, Spawn, they thought they had it there, that they were gonna overtake everything, and they just weren't strong enough just yet.
So where do we see this lead into? Like, can Lilgun still repeat what they just did inside their own base, even without a buyback?
A gift from the temple.
Yes, they can. If you're the ones initiating, it's a lot different. Plus, now you have 2 BKBs on both the Pudge and the Tusk, so that actually changes quite a lot.
Disruptor caught in the web. Into the finger from Lion. Kishka almost kills him, but that will be the Spawn Spiderlings that does the job. The Dismember goes straight into the Lotus Orb, but Womi still gets killed nevertheless, and blinks on top of the LOL. The LOL has no escape. The escape route has been blocked by webs. And with no creeps around, no objective to take.
The spinner snare is changing so much on the map. It's giving too much info to Lilgun, and you keep people in place for 4 seconds. That's nothing to laugh at. You don't want to be using your Lotus Orbs, Force Staffs, BKBs for something that the enemy hero can just spam out. But that's just something that you have to do if you want to live, and this is what allowed Lilgun to get those couple of extra kills. Now, if they could get a tier 2 tower, that would be amazing. But all of their lanes are pushed in, so at least Naga and the Puck will be able to do that.
Yeah. One of the big issues I've noticed in the last 2 fights is also heroes blinking out from the Naga song. Like Jikroy's got himself a really good setup. He's got his heroes ready, but either they don't have Static Storm for it, or they don't want to use it to prevent heroes from blinking away. There's been a couple occasions where Kishka just blinks away with his Blink Dagger, when we already thought that, yeah, he's probably dead. Well, you know, he isn't. He just gets out.
Unless you have an Aghanims on the Disruptor, you can always blink out of the Naga song if you're positioned correctly, because there's that 1 pixel where the damage isn't going to connect on you, and you are going to be able to blink out if you're facing the if you're blinking in the direction that you're facing. So only if the Disruptor has an Axe and it cancels out the blink, then you can do it.
Yeah. Is being attacked.
Maybe even an Aghanims on the Naga Siren at some point to be able to ensnare.
Yep.
But you know, maybe we'll see some good old real in action. You know? Straight out of the movie Jaws, where the humans eat the shark, right? Or not the humans, I mean the boat eats the shark. That's how the movie went, right?
I have no idea. I didn't watch it, and now when I'm hearing that boats eat sharks, I don't even want to.
All right, I would recommend. It's a good old horror classic.
Lilgun, they don't want to go up the high ground, but they have to deal with the top lane, and this is what Spawn need to do right now. Because head-on fight, it's not 100% certain that they will win, and losing a fight right now would be detrimental for their lead.
He's got one quota. Going to jump in, but 11's going to be getting the Walrus punch out first. But BKB from Dalol charging straight to the Lion. They need to get Kiska out of the way, and they will be successful in doing so. Iking up with his own BKB. Kiska coming with the fight as well. Going to chase down the Marcy. Marcy with the jump out Force Staff, and he's gone. Aga Siren still in the middle of the fight, and they have to use the song to disengage. Maybe even set up. There's the Static Storm. They shouldn't be able to get out this time, but they need to make it count. Kiska's on the sideline,
okay.
and actually able to keep one of the heroes away. And 4-2-3 charging onto the low wave and take down one at least. Silence on the Pugna, but Pugna TP's away. No hook, no dismember, or at least in range. Jacroy getting stuck on the cliff. He got Lotus Orb onto the cliff and only to die. Not as the king of the hill, but the king that got buried.
He'll be remembered as the king who died for nothing. But yeah, that's a really nice fight for Lilgun. Again, they have to use one buyback, but this is the thing. Spawn, they could have just continued to pressure the top lane and pretty much shouldn't have got into an engagement closer to the tier 2. If you're not close to that tier 2, the buybacks don't really matter.
Really not having fun at all. Disruptor got no escape route. Lodosaur pegs back, but the Spawn Spiderlings is going to be finishing him off anyway. There is another ward. Hodge actually gets the hook to connect onto the Puck. Puck able to move in with that Waning Rift. Back to safety. There is a tier 2 tower now available without backdoor protection. They just need to get the creeps a bit closer and continue doing what they were. But look at the setup here. Marcy, Pugna hitting in the sitting in the tree line. Can they do 2,000 damage is the big question without the BKB going off. Very risky positioning here. Very bold as well.
It's not worth it for Lilgun to go for this one if they don't see their enemies. They should.
The law goes in. Alright, and Ikigai instant reaction for it. Dismember broken. Lotus Orb just in time. 4-2-3 charging in as well. Wants to make sure that the Pugna's not going to get anything out. It's just 3 heroes, and it's down to B2. It's soon going to be just 1 as the law's going to fall. And Womi lives next to Jacroy, getting there in time with the song. And now Lilgun with the advantage. Should be able to take down this tower. Roshan 10.
Even though Lilgun were on the aggressive, on the enemy side of the map, you could see who was more eager to fight there. It was Spawn, because they knew that their enemies don't really have that many resources. But Lilgun played it perfectly. They went back, they faked back, and they waited for Spawn to make the move. The second that they did, they were ready, and they go for that one. Because right now, before the Roche spawns, the thing that you're most concerned about if you're Lilgun are the lanes. So allowing 11 to go towards the bottom lane and push that one in will actually give you the map control necessary to fight for the Roche, and that is the most important thing currently.
See what they can do with contesting this Roshan. No vision from the side of Spawn. Spawn completely blind on the map. The only thing giving vision to them top of the creeps is the Naga illusions. No wards. They don't have a single ward in the shop either. So they're all... They've all been dewarded or expired. Unless we count this one, which was just placed down here at the river. But that's pretty much all they have. It's the only ward that they have.
But it's also protecting the space where you are gonna be fighting at.
While they're causing some problems here. Ult's gonna be showing up as well. They would love to break that coil. He turns his on with his BKB, forces them away. He's got these spinner snares. He's got the disruptor, but it's so hard to get there. You need Kiska. You need that finger from the Lion. Travis TP's home. No risks taken.
He knew 11 was being scouted by the Naga illusion, and he was trying to go in and get that one punch onto the disruptor. So the disruptor understood, I have to get out of this before the crap FI ends, and exactly what he did.
Maybe now they do. Puck's been spotted. Does have face shift for the time being. 4-2-3 coming in from the side. Marcy doesn't want to use their BKB bomb and have to! Gets blown up before Chiva gets the chance!
That's a buyback.
They've got the punch rooted on the spot, but they scored a kill. kill that just might open Roche out for themselves. They got the puck in the back line, gonna get stunned up, but the Aeon Disc will save Pota 2, and the CM ulti is thrown in as well. Pudge will miss the hook, but the Hex on the other side, Dismember, that's gonna be history for Pota 2. And the song from the Naga to try and disengage, but it's 3 versus 5, no buybacks. Now, Delol finally comes back in, turning it to the tier 2 tower. Pota 2 to return as well. Rude, no DKB, needs 20 seconds. Jikroy on top of him, and 4 tier 3 to fall. That's gonna be the Brute dead, and they will also look for the Tusk and the Static Storm. Another one to look to go towards the side of Spawn as Lilgun, another casualty, continue to chase on. Pudge with a Ikigai. Can they keep Spawn away from them? They have no buybacks on these heroes, and they're just them two. Ace to go down, and the Pudge is looking dead as well. That is not fresh meat. That's a dead Pudge. And Spawn straight to the Roche pit with that team wipe.
Man, Lilgun forcing it out for no reason. They don't have buybacks. Usually second, third Roche, it's very important who has the buybacks and who has control of this top outpost. The thing is though, Spawn, they still have the tier 1 on the top. They have the tier 2 in the mid lane, so their access points to the Roche are quite good. And Lilgun not having buybacks and going for that chase, that was a big mistake from them. It was never supposed to work out. There's no way. There's just no way. If you're doing that, there's multiple buybacks, you're gonna get ran down, you'll lose the Roche, and all of the advantage that you've been building back in the last 5 minutes, it is gone.
Kind of looking at what's going on. We have a tiny toilet break apparently. This has been somewhat of a well, I wouldn't say it's a super long series, but a long series for sure, with both games coming up with some above average minutes. But still, this, like you said, this is a huge turn of events for Spawn. They've had strong moments throughout this game, and you know the way that they've executed this was having this Naga Siren be the main damage dealer who needs a bit of assistance on the side. They've had these healing batteries, the Disruptor's positioning, and actually staying alive in these fights. Like, Disruptor hasn't been killed for quite some time now, and that tells something of Travens too, that he's super cautious. Like, we talked about the caution already in the draft. Like, where does he position? How does he put himself in the lane? He's really taken that key into note when we've been approaching these team fights. And sustaining their heroes for as far as possible. Delol has to force the attention from Lilgun. And has to always take the tank the bait as well. But the Pudge isn't dismembering the Marcy anymore. He wants other targets, but there's always a Lotus Orb. There's always somebody with Lotus Orb who the Pudge is about to eat.
This is at least the lane of racks. You're gonna have one more glyph for Lilgun, but it's not gonna stop you from losing the racks. It's 35 seconds until your heroes are back. If any of the heroes of Lilgun decide to engage right now, you're just gonna straight up lose the game. So this, yeah, it's 2 lane of racks actually, because the top tier 3 is just way too low.
20 seconds for Pudge. Almost the same for the Tusk. Just a 4-second interval. Between the two. 4-2-3. A keen eye open on them. That Rex, that lane, that is history. Nothing they can do to salvage that situation. So, just bring up the graph. That's a 75% win probability for Spawn before the 30-minute marker. It did a huge dip towards Lilgun's favor, but since those last 2 fights, it's back to where it was.
Lilgun, they overextended 2 games in a row now. They should be like very sad, mad, or whatever towards themselves about what has just transpired in these 2 games. Because in this game in particular, you have so many ways to deal with the enemies. You have a counter for every single one of their heroes. I mean, Broodmother with an AoE Silken Bola, 55% mischance on every single illusion of the Naga Siren when he spawns it, and you're still allowing yourself with the dives, with the overconfidence, to put yourself in a position where you're gonna lose the game. So Lilgun, I think they're gonna be quite unhappy after this series.
Yeah, they're not very I mean, obviously wouldn't say that they're too depressed or down about what's happened here, but there's a lot of things that could probably go wrong, which they want to correct.
Yep.
Rough first day for Lilgun, for sure. can all agree on that, but there's still some fight in them. The game is still not over, but it is going to be a massive... it's now, Harry, it's their time to make a comeback.
Yep, it is. But also, there is a difference when you're losing the game and when you're playing badly. You could see you're having a bad day, but no, their spell usage is on point. It's just that the decision making isn't that great. What happens when you have a bad day? Then you're just gonna get crushed. So that is what scares me here, because they're playing pretty much in terms of spell usage perfect Dota, and they're still losing.
Let's see what they can do. 4-man smoke. Pudge is the only one not in it. But only by the time they reach spawn side of the map will they get scouted out by wards. There's a lot of spiders heading that way. So Casual getting some information. 11's positioning. They're going to be finding a lot of heroes against the jump instantly onto the Marcy. But the song on the side interrupting. And they have a chance now against the Brood. They get the hook out onto the lull, but they're going to focus fire on the Brood and the Lion. Both of them down. CM can't do much here. Pudge already fighting in the river as well. Gets the eat, gets the dismember onto the Marcy. Marcy still surviving, and look at that regen with the sidekick. Gets a lot of damage out and able to hammer down the Pudge. That is 4 heroes down, 4-2-3 with the buyback. Tusk trying to make a run for it, but 11. There's only so many directions you can run to, and you're gonna get caught. Cancelled the teleport with the Yules, and that's a team wipe. Brood bought back, and he's all by himself. He needs 11 with him, but can they do it anymore? It's just 2 versus 4.
All of these fights that didn't go your way allowed even the Disruptor to get an Aghanim Scepter. In this game in particular, you know, you do have a Tusk on your side with a VKB, but he was the one that gets caught inside of that one. So it just makes it impossible for him to save anyone.
Really trying their best here, but it's going to be a very difficult mission. Even if they kill the puck here, that's still an Aegis and a lot of time spent. That's a BKB used, and now the Ancient's soon going to be open as that tier 4 tower is going to be dropping low. They are hammering their way through. Unleash is already there. Jacroy gets some more illusions in. 4-2-3. BKB up inside the Ancient to keep himself at least a little bit longer alive, but still this Pox being a nuisance, and now finally taken down, but it's way too late. It's going to be a 2-0 for Spawn.
Yeah, 4-3 sitting on the throne there, but his throne does get destroyed, so you know, he's not really going to be ruling any longer. The Lilgun Brood Mother loses, and we can see 2 of their players immediately disconnect. I'm hoping that that no one is mad there, and that in the coming days we're going to be seeing Lilgun at their full force, but definitely not a good showing from their here. Spawn, a new team. Womi kind of gathered the Indonesian players, and they crushed Lilgun, a team that is sometimes a part of the Division 1 in the Southeast Asia and actually tends to win some games against one of the against some of the best teams in the region. So I'd be
Big
quite
victory.
happy if I was them. I'd be quite happy if I was them.
That's a really big victory indeed. Being able to take up some of those top teams, and in this case for Spawn, taking down Lilgun. That's a great start for your tournament run. I mean, what could be better than begin your tournament with a victory, and of course against a team like Lilgun? But to crack things down in individual performance, team performance, like you said, Womi has found himself a pretty interesting looking team, to be completely honest. Like, this was a very exciting team to watch, and some good results in the end as well. So this could lead into some really good potential playoff Dota for this team. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. It's still the first day, but let's just narrow it down. That's like a 9 out of 10 performance in the end. The second game was really good from Spawn.
Yeah, I have to say everything was pretty solid. There were some times where they were giving away too many kills, but other than that, they understood how to win against the odds. I still think that Lilgun had a better draft. They had all the means necessary to win this one, but Spawn played so well around them with itemization, with movements, with map positioning, with vision, with the heroes that they would sacrifice in fights. I think they just did a stellar job.
They definitely did. And that also closes out the games for the day. We're done with Southeast Asia, and we shall be returning tomorrow with some more games. But on the BTS channel, there's still the Americas kicking off in about 5-ish hours. So more Dota to come later on today. But for SEA, Tomorrow's schedule, we're going to have Neon Atomic, which we saw earlier on today, go up against Lilgun. So two teams that did not score a full series victory will at least get a point grabbed up tomorrow. Atomic did tie up AG today earlier on. We have Spawn versus Unity Gaming, which is going to be a pretty interesting one. And Xerxia goes up against Purple Paradox. So another Mongolian team participating in the tournament. So pretty interesting stuff for tomorrow. Of course, here with T-Panda and Harry Freak. We're only here for to pleasure you as much as we possibly can. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the games. We definitely did. And Harry, something on your mind until we close out the show?
Yeah, don't come up to people in the street and say we're only here to pleasure you, because it only works when you're.
You just had to. Oh God! All right. Anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in today, and as always, take care of yourselves. Good night, and bye bye.